Welcome, everybody, to Too Legit to Crit, a tabletop role-playing podcast hosted by people who always go last in initiative because we like to be fashionably late. My name is Juan Santana.
I'm Atlas.
I'm Andrea.
With us tonight, we have Andrea from Print and Play Games. Andrea, welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you. Nice to be here, guys. I've been
So glad
following
you're
you
here.
for some time. Yeah, happy to be on the show. Thank you.
No, it's great to have you with us. This is another instance of this has been a long time coming. And we've only kind of just managed to organize and arrange things, but you know, you and I have kind of been in touch since I think before Christmas.
Oh,
Yeah.
And you know, I've been following Print and Play Games.
Mm.
You know, you guys do amazing work, and that's something we kind of want to take a look at today. All right.
Thank you. We've been around, I think, for 2 years already.
Wow.
But not in the shape and form that we have today. You want me to tell you how it all happened?
I think we'll get to that. I do have like a list of shit to go through.
Yeah, go. That's why I asked.
I'm sitting there going like, yeah, go.
Go.
I'm the unhinged one though. So.
All right. Okay, so yeah, Atlas is the unhinged energy of this.
It's true.
I am the reserved one, apparently.
Balance is important in life.
Exactly.
No.
He gets it.
Yeah. And much like our Mutants and Masterminds game, you know, I
Don't
am
even start with that.
the
Don't start with
serene
that.
one. You know,
No.
You know, Atlas is the wild card always.
Oh, am I? Okay. Anyways, Andrea, glad you're here.
Thank you.
All right, so Andrea, before everything, before Print and Play, before Galactic Omnivore, before everything, I assume that you were a player of these wonderful games. Can you tell us how you got into tabletop role playing?
Actually, it happened a long time ago. It was with my buddy Martin, who lived across the street, and we had our little get-togethers where we played at first different kinds of games, like more board games, card games, and then we got into Dungeons and Dragons when we were 16 years old. And at that time, it was the time in Magic the Gathering where planeswalkers started appearing as a type of card, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it was our first try to take a mechanic from a game and make our own game with that mechanic. So we liked to mix board game mechanics with narrative that the TTRPGs have.
Mm-hmm.
And we started like that. That really felt great for us to mix those two types of games together. And later on, I think that was the basis for us actually becoming PC games developers, which we were for around 16 years after that.
Oh wow.
And then we got back to our roots, let's say.
That's amazing.
That's
how
quite
it
the
happened.
journey, isn't it?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. There were a lot of local game jams. I think there were 11 of them, and we appeared on every single one. Won awards on every single one,
Wow.
and got also an award on a worldwide, like on a global one. So we really wanted to make games, and we were like really fixated on that part that we're gonna make PC games. And we had this group that was called Shoopy Games. And
Love that name.
yeah, the name actually is like a kid who is singing songs while going with his backpack in primary school.
Mm-hmm.
He's ringing.
Oh.
Sorry.
But it's not
Sorry,
me.
yes, that is me. I am going to have to mute because I do have to take this call.
That's okay.
I do apologize.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Emergencies happen. You go continue.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I will continue.
Yeah.
So that's how it happened actually. We did a lot of PC games for a long time.
Oh
But
wow.
in parallel, we played TTRPGs, we played board games,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, this is a thing that happens in life. It's related with moving, same like
Yeah.
you, Atlas.
Yep.
Yeah,
Looks like yeah.
and at a certain moment in time, my friend tells me like, okay, I don't know when, but eventually I'm gonna move to another country.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, okay, and then who's gonna be my developer? Like, I'm gonna
right.
be developerless. Like I can do the art, the story, the writing, but I can't do the code. And
Yeah.
and this is when Galactic Omnivore appeared out of nowhere. It's an NGO local here in North Macedonia where we gather and
Okay.
we make games. And that's what the NGO does. It's like a community for game designers, game developers, sound engineers, writers, the whole bunch. And when I got invited to visit them because they
Mhm.
rent an apartment in our city,
Yeah.
I went
Helpful.
there. Yeah, and I went there and I said to myself, okay, I don't know how this will turn out. This is something new for me. Me actually being, physically present because I've done it for 11 years. But
Mm.
one day with a whole bunch of people on a game jam, that's only one day. And here I
Yeah.
have the opportunity to do it every day if I can, if time allows it. And I went there and I said, okay, let's just start slow. Let's start easy, and I will do TTRPGs. Because why? Initially, because I can do them myself. I can write them myself, do the mechanics myself, and the art myself. And if somebody wants to join, then I can do it with others as well. And immediately, two ladies, Natasha and Anna,
Mhm.
they immediately applied. Okay, welcome back.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I do
This,
apologize for that.
Andre's
oh,
natural. He's professional. He's got it.
I'll just head off, and I'll come back in
There
about
we
an
go.
hour's. I'll come
Exactly.
back in about an
Exactly.
hour's time.
Bring
And I'll
James
just
back with you though.
ladies
no.
and gentlemen, please stay tuned. He will be back.
I will be back. You
Maybe.
guys do not need me at all.
I don't know
All
about
right,
that.
It's
you
not
don't.
I don't
like
know
You
that.
about
don't.
It's not like that.
No,
No,
no, no,
totally
no.
not.
You
Totally
need
not.
you need me to
Stay there, please.
you need me to press play and press stop and
I mean, yeah.
Exactly. Otherwise, we're gonna talk here for
It's
the
just like
rest
he
of.
was just
Yeah.
saying, like, I can't do this on my own. You need a developer, so you're the.
Yes.
There we go.
What you missed was the backstory that I did PC games with a friend,
Mhm.
and then that friend told me that he's gonna move, and that at that moment, Galactic Omnivore as NGO appeared in my life. I went there and I decided I'm gonna make TTRPGs because maybe I will not have my friend anymore physically available, so I have to do types of games that I can do myself.
So you've actually now touched on it. One of the things I did want to ask you about Galactic Omnivore. First of all,
Yeah.
fucking great name,
Right?
Yeah.
But yeah, tell us about Galactic Omnivore because I think you have told me briefly about it before,
Mhm.
and I think it is it's a fascinating sort of initiative.
Also, I think a lot of our viewers probably don't even know what that is, so just keep that in mind.
Yep. Yep. Well, actually, what the viewers might be familiar with
Mhm.
is having communities on a Discord channel.
Mhm.
What makes Galactic Omnivore different than that is it's exactly that, but it's also very much aiming to also bring the people together in real life. It's not only in North Macedonia, like you can be members, and I will definitely advise you to do that.
Oh.
Because we have it's totally we have you can choose a language when you start in the onboarding process, and you can speak in English completely and use everything in the Discord channel in English. And the idea with Galactic Omnivore is to bring people together that want to make games, and also people who want to write games, the sound engineers, the developers, the digital artists, and what we have these pillars inside, like it's like a corporate culture, but it's not corporate. It's totally doesn't have
Yeah.
any levels of hierarchy. Like the guy who founded that explicitly, says this is egalitarian, like everyone is equal here, and
That's cool.
who everybody wants to can do whatever they want. And what they offer actually is like a shell. Here's this shell, and we can tell you how it works, and you have everything you need to make a game right here, and you just make it. And in order to motivate people to actually do that, we do real life stuff, like for example workshops. And we tend to do various kinds of workshops with the skills that we have, to stimulate people to join on those workshops. Again, you can join as well. They can be they're like, people are actually coming in the apartment that we are renting, our HQ, and they are enjoying it in live. But you can also follow it like this. I mean, it's possible to do so, and we are doing so. So we have around 200 members.
Wow.
Most of them here from Skopje, that's the capital of North Macedonia.
Okay.
And we have also people from Serbia, we have people from Turkey, we have people from many other countries as well.
That's amazing. I love that.
Yeah, and what we are doing is like basically everything that an NGO is doing. Like we are getting fundings, we are getting projects, we are trying to really raise up the level of knowledge of the people who want to learn game design, how to make games. And what makes us different than everybody else is that we are making everything for free. Like we are trying to not to get the fundings from the people that need to learn. Like we always want to have the people that are actually in need of a game design lesson. You just fill out a simple form and apply for the presence. Tell us if you're online, if you're gonna come in person, and you're gonna go there and you're gonna learn about a bunch of stuff.
I love that, because that does make you so different, because it's not just a creative community for gaming. It's also it enriches the fellowship in it, where it's kind of like, oh, like we're learning together, we're actually helping each other, and that's super important. I love that a lot. Yeah.
Is there an option to kind of squish the website? The website looks much better when you have it on mobile. It's still in
mobile, huh?
Yeah. There possibly is. I just haven't worked out how to do it yet.
Never mind. It's like the viewers can check it out themselves. It's galacticomnivore.com.
I might be able to put a link up in the bottom if you give me 1 second.
Definitely.
Cool.
But yeah, I love that so much.
Thank you, guys. I mean, for me, it changed the way I function, because I'm a creative director by day in a corporate environment, and I've been working with that for 10 years. So yeah, it's very different, and it's very, very fun, and seeing that totally non-hierarchical way of working, it's I mean, yeah, it's crazy. For me, it's lovely.
Yeah. It's gotta be a nice, just kind of refreshing moment. Like, okay.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, just being able to go there on the Discord channel and just write, okay, I want to do a game which is like this, and then people just boom, they appear. They say, yeah, I can do the art, I can do the code, I can do, and you're like, oh,
that's great.
That's phenomenal. That is.
I mean, and everybody is doing, like, we are even in print and play. Like, there's already 11 of us, and we're doing all of this for free. Like nobody gets paid. What we are using the money for is making team buildings, making gatherings, and like confirming with everybody, hey, this game that you made this amount of money, and this game made this, and does everybody agree that we should spend all of them in a restaurant? And everybody's like, yeah.
I was just about to say pizza. That would be my thing. It's like big pizza party.
Here we have, we have that. we have these local places called kafanas. It's a kafana. Yeah, it's like a local
Kafana.
restaurant with grilled meat, and
Oh,
we love those. It's a part of our culture. So yeah.
I think that's my favorite thing about being on the show is I learn different cultures and foods and like that I love that. I love that so much. So that sign me up. I'm gonna find a kafana.
Yeah,
Kafana?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, you're always welcome to join. If you
absolutely.
come here, there's always for a place to sleep. So no stay. Like you will need to pay your flight, and then you arrive at the airport. You are getting picked up, and everything is free. So
Awesome. That
yeah,
sounds like a party. I'm here
yeah,
for
yeah,
it.
yeah. There's
I th-
always an option for that. So
Yeah.
yeah, goes for
Okay.
both of you,
that'll
Goes
be
for
a
both of
that'll
you.
be a podcast retreat, Atlas.
Right? Yes.
That would be.
Oh, that gives me an idea. We'll talk about it later. But yeah.
Okay, I'm just having a look see if there's a kafana in UK,
Oh,
London.
how do you spell it?
It's Kafana.
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
Not how it's spelled.
So just I know we're going off completely off topic, but
okay.
that's on brand for us. So the one I found in London is like an authentic Serbian kafana. Would there be a difference between like a Macedonian kafana and a Serbian kafana?
Minimal
Alright.
one. So, but I have other people that live in London as well, so we can hook you up.
I say, yeah, hook me up with a kafana. I'm good.
I'm on the wrong continent. I gotta go.
I thought I was gonna like raise the popularity of tabletop RPGs on this show, but it seems it's dealing with something different.
Well, you know what they say: the way to
food
a
and
man's heart
gaming.
is through food. So
I say food and gaming. They just kind
Holy
of,
shit, yeah.
go hand in hand. Yeah.
The guy that we're working with, Dan, we came with a nice idea that actually tabletop RPGs should be mixed with food.
Yes.
And we started like ideas about that, like people are eating this kind of snacks and that kind of chips and all sorts of things. But what if inside the TTRPG we have actual recipes of what needs to be cooked, and then people cook it, and it's called eat and play.
Stop! I love that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Sign me up.
That's pretty cool.
I will test that out all day long.
So did
please stop us, please.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah, we need to get slightly back on track here. Far be it from me to be the voice of reason in this show.
Say, when did that happen?
I have no idea. I'm scared. Print and play. Did that happen before Galactic Omnivore, before you joined Galactic Omnivore? Or did that happen as a result of joining Galactic Omnivore?
It happened as a result of joining Galactic Omnivore. It happened me not wanting to do the same thing. It actually started with me doing the same thing. There are two games that happened there. One game was an 8th of March game, which was like web build and a mobile build of getting flowers and putting them in a vase, and then exporting an image of that and giving it to the woman that you care about.
That's super cute, though.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
It was like
Atlas is there going, why hasn't anyone done that for me?
It was a nice little project, and there was another a slightly bigger one where we made a endless runner. Me with a guy called Andre, a similar name to mine. We made an endless runner. It was called Heart of the Cavern, but then there's this little yellow, like gold armor knight who is running away. But what's different was that the knight, you're not controlling the knight. You're actually the cavern, and the knight has taken your hearth, so you are the level, and you are the one who is putting the traps on the lanes, and the knight is the computer actually avoiding, the traps.
That's genius.
I want to play that.
We can send you a copy for that. We can,
Oh my
yeah,
gosh,
like
I love that.
it's just it never got released, but the build that we have is like completely playable. Everything
Oh
is
my gosh.
animated. The UI is great. Like we'll send you that.
That is amazing. That is
I
such
would
a
love
cool
to.
idea.
I will play it. I'll record me playing it. I'll post it. Absolutely.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
No, that
sure.
is a really cool idea. I mean,
Yeah.
I think your sort of originality is definitely shifted over to your design in print and play. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously,
Yeah.
I first became familiar with print and play because of Dumb Squad.
Yeah.
Which I
Yep.
thought was such an amazing concept.
Thank you.
So essentially, you have it's a game that's set in 10-minute increments. You are playing an inept group of people trying to stop a disaster, and you've got 10 minutes. And I thought that was fantastic. I mean, we might as well start with Dumb Squad.
Okay.
How did that
let's
come about? What sort of?
Well, going into TTRPGs was like learning like a new college. It's we went really into it like students because we understood like, okay, there's been a lot of things going on here, and we haven't touched any TTRPG for like 16 years, and a lot has happened. and we were so involved in PC games and making PC games. But now when I wanted to do this switch, I said like, okay, let's really see what's going on. And Dumb Squad came to be as a result of me learning that there is something in this world called one-page RPGs.
Mm.
And I was blown away, like, okay, can it be this simple? But how do they do it? Can it be so condensed? And then I spent a lot of time on itch.io, which is which is the thing I always say, like whenever they call me on a show or everywhere, like how do your ideas come by to be like? I spend a lot of time on itch.io in the physical games section, and you're gonna find hidden gems, masterpieces there, wonderful games. And Dumb Squad was my attempt to actually make a one-page RPG. And I said like, okay, how can I make this short, condensed game also time-related short? And then I said, okay, I can make something like a bomb going off or a catastrophe happening that will limit the player and make this tense. And I also listen to a lot of rap music. So we have this. My favorite local band has this song that's called Bomb Squad. Yeah,
nice.
and I was impressed by that song for, I don't know, as long as I can remember. And I said like, okay, these guys are not a bomb squad; they're a dumb squad.
I love it. I love it.
Absolutely fantastic.
And the fact is, in the game, time is a resource.
Yes.
So you can spend time to get bonuses in order to help you accomplish your goal. And I thought that's a really cool sort of twist on a mechanic.
This was the guy that I'm mentioning, Martin. The guy is gonna move. He's the one that came up with that. Like what I do sometimes is I give an idea to him, and he has this wonderful ability. When the idea is there and when the game is already there, he can make something inside, add a mechanic, which is wonderful. So we have different skills because he's a developer and he can always balance things out, you know, and I'm the guy who always gives the spark and he's like the gasoline.
Yeah.
Yes. You always need that kind of duo somehow. Like, you know, the math person and the color person, you know, the cruncher, the developer, and the idea dreamer. It's so helpful. It's so helpful. Doing it by yourself is so hard.
Yes. That's how it happened. And there was this event, and it's all over social media. We went to a Japanese JRPG event, which was put together by another NGO called Pagoda and Comics MK, which is our guys here that deal with comic books locally, and they make their own. And we had this big event where Print and Play actually we had our own first stand, first one ever, and people got to play Dump Squad actually.
Wow.
And
okay,
yeah,
that's exciting.
And it was great me playing with the people. And at a certain point, I just said like, okay, can I like not be the GM? Do you want to be the GM or the dumber, as we call him in the game? And people said like, yeah, let me try it. And I kind of got out of my seat, and
Oh,
another
good.
person came, and I just stood there, and they said like, do we only get one game? Like, can we, because it's 10 minutes,
Oh,
can we do another one? And I'm
that's
like,
great.
yeah, you can do another one. Yeah. And people started piling up, and it was, it's amazing. And they
That's
all got a
fantastic.
free copy of Dump Squad, which is something that you can't really get. You can do that through Drive-Thru RPG. But in real life, we are Print and Play, and we always make our games in a PDF format. So we don't deal with shipping and storage, and we always do printable products. So this was a nice chance for the local people to get a printed and folded copy.
I mean, you sent me a copy when we first mentioned it, and I read through it, and it was like, seems like so much fun. So it kind of falls within my own sort of preference for the game. It's got the tongue in cheek aspect of it, where there's meant to be failure. There is meant to be you're meant to fail upward, as it were. It's not meant to be a serious game, and I love those sort of games. So yeah, I will gather some people at some point, and we will have an evening where we just absolutely run Dump Squad into the ground.
People were asking me like, are we doing this correctly? And I'm like, no, the question is, are you doing this poorly?
Yeah.
If you are, if it's all a mess,
good job.
then you're playing the game as it's meant to be.
That's fantastic. I know some people that would absolutely like die from playing that game, but I kind of want to play it with them. Like,
oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like let's bring on the mayhem. Let's go.
All right, so just to kind of have a quick look at some of your other games. These ones I don't really know too much about, so maybe you can kind of give us a brief sort of
can you give me
introduction?
Like a 1 minute? I just need to go and adjust the lights because it's getting the sun is down. Yeah.
It ran away. It ran away screaming.
Yeah. Give me just 1 second.
It's quite all right. It's quite all right. By all means. So in the meantime, while Andrea's sorting that, I thought it might be a good idea just to have a quick check-in with our partners this evening. So first of all, check out Deals of Opportunity. It's the automatic, simple, and free way to save on the tabletop role-playing games that you want. You just add your Drive-Thru RPG and Dungeon Masters Guild wish list, and you get notified anytime a title on your list goes on sale. You just set it up and save. Secondly, our other partner this evening is 13th Moon Games. It's a family-run indie game company out of Wyoming, USA, that created the tabletop role-playing game Covenant Crucible. It's a game of modern-day witchcraft, and if you can imagine the John Wick movies and the last Witch Hunter movie got together and had a really pretty baby, Covenant Crucible would be it. If you want to learn more, get interested in joining the official Discord game, check them out on Instagram and message them on there. Lastly, I would be remiss if we didn't mention our own stuff. So check out our merch store, where you can find t-shirts, hoodies, desk mats, and other items, either with our logo, our supernatural-inspired waffle-on design, and our very brand new Moves Like Atlas design that we released this week. So if you want to support us more directly, you can head to our Ko-fi page and make a one-time donation or subscribe to our $3 a month tier, which will give you exclusive Discord access and a mention in our credits. And as always, the best way to support us is by hitting that subscribe button and telling your friends about us.
I will tell my friends about you.
There we go.
By all means, that's what we need.
I mean, I will, definitely.
All right.
So you can be sure.
No, that's great. That's good.
All right, so welcome back, Andrea. I see you are now a bit more illuminated.
I also see the color of your chair now, and I love it. I was like, oh, it's pretty.
And my washing machine says hi.
I love that. Yeah. It's so cute. It's just a little compact. I love it. Love it. Actually, the washer dryer machine in the new house that I'm moving into is like stacked on itself, and I'm only 5'4", so like I was looking at it, and I'm gonna have to like open it above my head to get my laundry in, and I'm like, oh no.
Well, you can dunk your clothes in. All right, so kind of looking over the print and pledge repertoire. First of all, talk to us about Holier.
We're gonna go through all of them. Huh? That's great. Holier, that's like even a more condensed one-page RPG than a one-page RPG. For me, I also learned it from 24. It was something like 24 words jam, because we wanna keep our game jams going. And now there's on itch.io, there are like, if you open their agenda, there are game jams all the time. And then there I saw like, hey, can you make a whole RPG with 24 words? And I was like, no, definitely not. But we made a one-pager, so why not try to do this? And this is like, it's related. I played with Orthodox Christianity art that we have in our temples, and it's like it's not, I mean, it's inspired by Christianity, but it's totally not related with Christianity, because the guy has like a rectangular shape aureole or around his head.
I'm here for it. I mean, I think that should be how they look.
Yeah, and they're like, it's not a holy trinity, it's a holy, like a quartet. How do you call it? Because there are four.
Yeah, it's inspired by and not
it's
trying to replicate.
Yeah.
Which, to be fair, is gonna probably make it even better. Like,
it's. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, and I've never seen people play around with it. I saw recently a bunch of people making like Orthodox pictures of those of Lord of the Rings, and that was funny, and it was awesome. It looked awesome. So it's basically a game. I wouldn't call it a full-fledged TTRPG, because it's only 24 words long. It's only like confession mechanic, and it's like the guys who are holiers, that are like inspired by angels, are that holier, that one person is getting retired. And before going into retirement and doing the good deeds of God, he needs to also confess what he did wrong and what he did right, what he regrets and what he really cherishes in his life, and what he's happy about. And it's basically like a roll 1d6 basic mechanic. It cannot get more basic than that, which really just tells you like, if this rolls, if you get this result, you gotta say something that you're sad about, that you regret. And if this rolls, this is the result, you're gonna say something that you're happy about. And it's like a confession mechanic. It can be used in any game, really.
Kind of like that. I'm sitting here going, man, like half of my table would take that and it'd be absolutely ridiculous and hilarious. And then the other part of me is like, man, the other half of my table would take that so serious and get so heavy real quick. I'm like, man, I don't know. That sounds like a dangerous game to play.
It's it's a mechanic. I mean, you can.
It looks cool though.
Yeah, you can freely like reuse, that mechanic and make it your own in any system, really. As long as you have a D6, it's very simple. And I couldn't do much more. Like, I couldn't do a full-fledged game with 24 words. And yes, there are people who can do that and have done that.
Wow.
I mean, that's it. That is interesting. Like, I mean, to use as a mechanic, as even if you were to use it in order to kind of develop a character.
Yeah.
Ooh, you have a character, and you can, okay, right, I'm going to roll things. What does this character regret? What is this character proud of? and you can possibly use it as a prompt.
Yeah.
So I think that's really cool.
Yeah, my GM brain is sitting there going like, man, I would love to use that without telling my player. Like, kind of use that as a mechanic if they're playing a paladin of sort. Kind of like before you reach the end of your storyline in your arc, kind of start roll a d6 for me.
Yeah.
It's
Okay,
cool.
so to move on swiftly, because I know you want to talk about Sword Wastelands of Arak. So we will get to that, and we're going to dedicate a good amount of time to it. But I want to know about Brood Snatcher, because this one I found quite interesting.
Brood Snatcher, yeah. Brood Snatcher is a game that was made by the two ladies in my team, which helped me in the beginning to not do this completely alone. And they are still here, and they are still in the team.
That's great.
And they are Natasha has made much more that I can muster. Like I have around 11 written games from her that are just piling up. And
that's
really have
outstanding.
To do, she's very talented. And Anna on the other side, she's also doing other projects in Galactic Omnivore, and she's doing a game that I'm not gonna talk about yet. For me, again, for us, but it's more leaning towards Japanese stuff. That's all I'm gonna say for now.
Nice.
And it's gonna be something very similar, system related as to Wastelands of Arak. But yeah, Brood Snatcher was a game where I wanted to like kind of take myself out of it and just let them do their thing. And they have created something amazing, which is like giving you the tools that you need to play a game, and at the same time giving you the freedom to change them. So it's a compact format where you have a map, where you have everything you need to know about the enemies, everything you need to know about the players. You have even cutouts. You can cut tiny pieces of paper that you put on that tiny map, because we are trying to put everything on one sheet of paper, and everything is tiny. And when we play tested it, was like, wow, this is too tiny, but it felt cute at the same time. And Brood Snatcher specifically is a game about a spider. It hooks the readers with I'm a mother and somebody kidnapped my child, and then you learn that mother is actually a spider.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I hate spiders with a passion, but when I was going through the games, because I was just like looking at your stuff before the show and getting ready, like I saw this, I'm like, oh, this looks great, and I'm like, wait, what? No, but I still want to play it. Like I want to play it. I'm like, that looks fun.
Yeah, it's a good game. It's a good game. Yeah, and this was something that happened in the beginning. Like we had this idea which really stuck with us, that we're gonna replicate that same compact format, and we actually did. You can see it in Ghost in the Park, which was another game that we did with Natasha and with and myself. And you can see it in the Godly Drinks of Anna Christie. Anna Christie is also a local kafana that we have. It was inspired by that, and the map of the game is inspired by how Anna Christie is laid out in real life.
That's cool.
So all of those games were part of this initial idea that we're gonna make a format of a game. If we're gonna make our own 1 page, two pages RPGs, we're gonna make our own format. But then, we did that for a few games. We have one more unpublished one with a local boogeyman, which is called Baba Roga. It's a granny Roga.
Love that.
Yeah,
that's great.
And it's more like a shamanistic one, and this is also upcoming. It's not out yet. And this is, I think, it will be the last one in that same format. And the other 11 that are waiting on the pile from Natasha, we will make them in another format, I think.
So So while we're talking on format, I had a thought / question pop up. Like, you talked about this all started because you used to run across the street to your friend's house. You guys would play board games and card games, and then you went into PC. Well, you played some TTRPG, some D&D, and then PC gaming, and then you went back to TTRPG. There's, I'm not going to say war, but there is a huge divide on whether people think that TTRPGs should and can be played by itself digitally, no icons, no nothing, versus people who like have the whole get out printables, like minis, all these things. What I love is that like print and play seems to be right smack down the center where you can really do it however you want to do it. But did you do that on purpose? Like, did you mean to come full circle and kind of like pay homage to the whole I used to play these card games, board games, or is it just it happened that way as a happy accident?
It's a happy accident.
I love that though. I love that.
Yeah.
That's great. It's fantastic.
Many things. I don't know if like this is correct or not, but you know Kelsey Dion, the lady that made Shadow Dark, a very popular TTRPG.
I know I've heard of the TTRPG. I haven't heard of the.
I have not.
That's the lady. That's the lady who made it, and I think what she did is she had a mechanic with a torch, and when the torch lights down, like how do you say it, turns off, or then everything in the game changes, which is actually a mechanic that we've seen in PC games.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if she did that. It's the same question, you know. If I would see her, I would ask her like, did you like this mechanic in the Darkest Dungeon PC game, and you just did it here?
Right.
Or did it happen by accident? But in reality, it doesn't even matter, you know. It's like it's such a good idea that she did that, and her game got a lot of popularity out of it. So for us, it's also the same. Like we now, when we see our lives and we see the world with our eyes, we see TTRPGs everywhere we go, and that's the switch that we did in our brains. You know, like you're sitting at home, you're playing Elden Ring, and you're like, okay, this specific thing would work awesome in a TTRPG.
Right.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah. And like kind of just going on what Atlas was just saying, that your games are kind of designed to be the sort of middle ground between the whole. You know, you can invest as much or as little time into them. There is one of your games which exemplifies that perfectly, and that is Dark Sands?
Death Sands.
Sorry, that's the one.
I love that one.
Because Death Sands, like in the actual, even in the, I'm trying to load up Drive Through RPG to get that, but it is a miniatures game. But even in the description, it says you can use anything as token.
Yeah.
You can use coins, you can use dice, you can use any home objects to represent the things in the game. But we encourage you to get custom miniatures. That I think that's a fantastic thing where you are, there's no gate there.
There's not a business reason behind it as well. It's not like, you know, you should get this miniature. You know why? Because we are selling it.
Yeah,
that's why you should get it. No, it's like you should make it, so because when you make it, nobody else in the world will have this sandworm. It's a Dune-inspired game. It's like nobody will have that kind of worm as yours. And
that's awesome.
You can make it out of it can be like a worm made out of donuts, and it can have chocolate on top. We're not preventing that. Like and
I mean, because if there's one thing that kind of, I won't say puts me off, I think that's a very strong way of putting it. But something that I kind of shy away from in a TTRPG is when they come with, because you've got these tokens and you've got these cards and it's all very proprietary.
Or if you have to, like, here's the game, you buy the game, yay. Oh, if you really want to play it like officially, there's all these other things you have to buy in addition. And I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah, that I kind of shy away from that. And I think that the Death Sands game, where you openly from the get-go in the first line is like, use anything. or make your own custom worm.
And I love that about print and plays. It nurtures such a creative atmosphere. No matter what game you're playing, there's always a sentence somewhere in the descriptions like, do how you want. Or like, you know. So you definitely still have the game mechanic, the story, but it is also like, if you don't have this or can't do this because the players at your table, make something up. I love it.
We want to keep that, we are coming from a lot of board games, and for example, the Fallout board game. It's such a lovely board game if you just tweak it a little bit. If you just tweak this and tweak that and change how some card drawing works, it's gonna be the best board game you've played. Like, it's awesome.
Yeah.
But if you play it by the rule book, then maybe it will work for some people, but for some it won't.
Yeah.
And we want to explicitly say that, like,
Mm-hmm.
here are the rules, but the rules are like a guideline. Like, if you want to play this game in a different way, please, and tell us how you played it, and we're gonna be very happy that you played it in a different way. And if it inspires you to make your own game, do that, and we'll be even happier.
That's awesome.
I think it's fantastic. So, like, moving on to the current events, as it were. All right. So there are two things that I really wanted to talk to you about. Okay. The first one, and I will let you choose which one in which order you want to talk about, because they both stem from Fari Games Game Jam. And I mean,
which for far too long I called Fairy RPG, by the way. I was like, oh, it's Fari. Whoops.
So the two things obviously are the Songs and Sagas VTT and the Sword Wastelands of Arak. Am I pronouncing that right? Arak?
Arak. But
Arak.
It's like Arabic, it's
okay, all right.
Something, it goes in that direction. Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so feel free to talk about those things, but in whichever order you wish.
Okay. So my connection, do you still hear me?
Yeah, we still hear you.
I lost you for a moment there. So you said two things, and then I heard about the Arabic part for Arak, but what did you say before that?
Oh, so the two things, it was the Songs and Sagas VTT.
Yeah.
And the Sword Wastelands of Arak.
Yeah.
Feel free to talk about those in whichever order, however you want.
Sure. So the VTT. So let's start with that. It was an idea, like, when we saw VTTs firsthand, we saw that the idea with them is to make a digital safe playground for any game out there. And like, it's so easy, it's so fast, like, put in your artwork of your tokens, of your card, and then you can have your game in there, and they're so popular. And what we missed there, and what we miss up until this current day, is the personality of it. When you have such a wide range of applications that are doing the same thing, and they are so open that you can implement everything. Yes, it's fast. Yes, it's good, and you can play a card game there, and you can play a TTRPG, and you can make a prototype for a board game, and that's all fine with us. But we're missing the character there. And we said, like, okay, what if we make for this game jam an Windows application that, and one for Mac as well, and one for Linux as well. Yeah. So what if we can do that? Use our big knowledge of making PC games and making actually something that's even easier to develop, because it's not a game; it's like a playground. And we said, okay, we're gonna make this game. We're gonna make this this app specifically customized for the purposes of playing Songs and Sagas. And we made custom art, and we made the dice to be in that theme, and everything, like the background, the background music and the effects and everything. And we put in our logos and the logos of Fari, and we didn't say a word to anyone. And we said, like, we're gonna call RP ourselves, and we are gonna just gently push him off his chair by showing him this. And
we spoke to RP, and I think you succeeded in pushing him off his chair.
He was
yeah,
pushed,
he was shocked. Yeah.
Yeah. And he said something lovely, and it will stick with me. He said, like, this is the one and best unintentional TTRPG gift that I have ever received from my fans. And it was like, oh man, like, so that hit us so hard, and we were so grateful. And I think since that day, it kind of went in a very good direction with RP, because we saw all the buzz about using someone else's SRD, but then we were like, why would we do that? Like, we can make our own SRD. Like, what's the trick in that? And we said, like, okay, we'll definitely try it, because we're a brand that we want to try out new things. And we're definitely gonna make a printable card game, and we're definitely gonna make those roll and write games where you put like a piece of plastic and with a marker, and then you can erase the plastic and just we don't want paper to get wasted, in tons of paper. So we said, like, okay, we're gonna make something that fills us up with good emotions. We're gonna show it to the person, and if that guy is really like gives us that reaction that we're hoping for, then we can talk with him. Then we'll see what happens. And this indeed happened. He was like, whoa, what's this? and then when we met him, and when we saw how sweetheart he is, like such a good guy and down to earth and without an ego, and he's like a very successful guy, and he was very open, and he said, like, hey, this is amazing, you can do whatever you want with this, like, this is totally yours. Yes, it's meant for our game, but the SRD is yours, and do whatever you want. And this is how we came to Sword Wastelands of Arak. Like, because now we really like the guy, and we said, like, yes, we want to use your SRD specifically to make a game in your SRD. And yeah, that's how we made Sword Wastelands of Arak. But it was actually for the same event. It's both the VTT and the game are entries, and they are official entries in the Game Jam of Songs and Sagas.
That's phenomenal, because I remember when we had RP on the show, that was one of the things I brought up. And all right, tell us, Print and Play have done this. What do you think? And just like you said, just the reaction and just the response that he gave, you could tell that it was sincere. You could tell that there was an earnest sense about it, where he just kind of went, "I'm blown away."
I think that says a lot, though, about what you're doing, Andrea, because, like, I've said it or kind of a little bit already, but Print and Play, the games you're putting out, what you're doing, even you saying, oh, I'm making these, the stuff, but it's for free and all this stuff. Like, the effort you put into the VTT, the effort you put into, the Songs and Saga stuff, like, that's also a lot to say about you, not only as a person, but as a designer, because you're like, hey, I love this. I'm going to make this and share it with others so that they can love it as much as I do. Like, that's kind of a big deal, honestly. Like, I don't want to glaze over that and let's just kind of get caught up on, talking about Afari. As much as Afari is amazing, like, you've done a lot. Like, that is amazing. So kudos to you for actually, like, sharing what you love to do, because that to me, that's the epitome of being an artist or a creator.
Yeah.
It's not about how successful you are. It's about sharing that passion and building that community. So I think that's great for you.
Thank you, Atlas. Thank you.
You're welcome.
No, I mean, I echo the sentiment 100%. I think it's fantastic work, and you do it with such a passion and such sort of love for the game and love for these systems. And it is, I kind of wish more designers were like you and like Fari, and like, I think this space would be a much better place.
Yeah, by far. Completely off the topic and unrelated, out of, like, the games, though, that you've put out, which one's your favorite? I'm just curious.
There are I have a few, like Brute Snatcher. Brute Snatcher is one because it was not made by me. Maybe I made like a template for it, and that template was followed, and I did some tweaks with the UI, but that was it. So I was happy to see other people do print and play games. Dump Squad is one of my favorites because I that was like, you know, opening a portal in that world, in the TTRPG world, and going in that direction. And all of the others, I love them in their own way. Like I'm trying to make different products.
Yeah.
So now I can't say now, oh yeah, and Death Sands is my favorite, because Death Sands is a completely different type of product, and it's me trying to make a different type of product. And we have an upcoming dice rolling game that's ready for a long time. It has been ready even before Sword Wastelands of Arak, and that's such a simple dice rolling game, and that's again, it's a new product, and us thinking like, okay, we gotta make something with D6s for all the people out there that don't have polyhedral die sets. No,
that's a fair. Fair point.
We gotta make this, you know, but slowly with time, we are proud of our speed most of all.
Yeah.
And we're saying like, okay, if we're gonna do something different than others, we're gonna make a lot of games. No, we're not gonna be that studio that has 1 or 2 games per year. Definitely not. We're gonna make a lot of them.
Yeah, and that is very notable and mentionable, because like I know that just your answer said a lot about you, because a lot of people will be like, oh yeah, we're pumping out all these games. That's our old game. You're like, I don't know, this one was great because that was like my first one. This one was great because like you still love each and every one you put out. Like you put care into it, and that is different.
I only think that the thing that we are learning, and RP is helping a lot with that, and from Imagine If Media, from that Discord,
she's wonderful.
She's helping out with that, and you guys are helping out with that. So what we're trying to do is we are trying to give a lot of eyes to our games, and this is why I love my games, because if a lot of people would play Dump Squad, then a lot of people would know how awesome it is. It won an award in 2023, Small Fest and Fun game, and it was very fun that the YouTuber that gave that award has the same sentence that we have on our logo.
Oh wow!
Like, we make small, fun, and fast games, and he had an award for that. And
that's amazing.
Like, okay, so that's why I love the old games, and they will always remain. Dump Squad will always remain relevant, and Brute Snatcher will always remain relevant.
I love that.
Okay, so without further ado, can you tell us more about the Sword Wastelands of Arak and the Kickstarter that is due to launch pretty soonish?
Oh yeah, when does it launch?
This is the first time I'm seeing it. It's going live on the 23rd this month.
Okay.
All right, fantastic.
And it's gonna last 1 month. So up until 23rd of August, we are hoping to have it done. The campaign will be over, and it's a TTRPG set in the SRD by Fari RPGs, the Songs and Sagas one. So it has that subtitle carried in Songs and Sagas, and it's a really dark world. There was a big war that lasted for 2,000 years, and now it's over. And many humans died fighting the undead. And the story actually is that you're waking up on that same battlefield, and you are realizing that now you are one of the undead. But the strange thing is that there are no undead around you anymore, and there are no human beings around you anymore, and you're somewhat different, a different kind of undead because you still have your conscience and you're sentient and you're like a normal being, but you're undead. And you're we wanted to bring that horror of the players facing themselves that they have been reborn and they have another chance of life, but they have been reborn into something different and horrible, and something that they fought their whole lives. So it's a reimagined OSR TRPG where you're a risen undead warrior on an old battlefield littered with swords. Yeah, it's called the Sword Wastelands of Arak because there are swords in the ground, like as far as the eye can see, and that's because of the pride of those warriors that fell, that always wanted to put the sword in the ground before they died.
Wow.
And it's just telling us that a lot of people died here. And it's it's a small pamphlet. It's we changed what Songs and Sagas was, and we saw what the people actually asked is that they asked for more examples of enemies. So we added 10 enemies to that same format.
Oh.
And we also added heirlooms as a feature, and that's something that every undead is really holding onto that, because if they don't have that, then they will lose their minds. And so this is keeping them keeping the memories, the past, and there's a list of those heirlooms inside the game. And what else? We have some equipment that when you gather, it's like it's inspired by old MMOs. When you gather all armor sets, you get something extra. We have that.
Yeah.
And
that's
we
cool.
have a completely new system for movement on a map. So like those hex scrolls. So we have maps, and then we wanted to give like a specific goal. Like we have the map, and you can go here. You're going. You need to go here, and that's it. And always the game will be like that. So it's meant for one shots, but those one shots can be very different each time because you randomize the region types. So you have like maybe somebody who plays it will have these dark towers that are in that only can be seen when you're undead. Like when you're a living person, you only see a barren field and that's it. There's nothing there. But when you're undead, you have these big towers in there, and you can have these in on a hex. Like if you get them on a roll. Otherwise, you can have swamps, and you can have those sword littered waste fields from which you can pull out a sword from the ground and check what you get, because there's swords everywhere. Like you will never need a weapon, like search for a weapon. The wasteland got you covered.
Yeah.
So we have that, and we have these little story snippets, like preset stories that every hex has, and they can be applied no matter in which region you are. So maybe you're in a dark tower, but if the story says that you meet a man who is very, very disturbed by just seeing you like a party of undead, and then learning that you're like normal people, but you just look scary, and you can see that guy. You will see that guy in a dark tower. You will see them in a swamp, in a ruin, and in all region types. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so there are some things you can miss in one playthrough. There are some things you can get. It's definitely worth the replayability, and we have lots of stretch goals if we reach them. But we'll talk more about that when it's out.
Well, good luck.
Yeah.
Kickstarters are a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, looking forward to that coming out.
Thank you.
There is a question in the chat for you, and it is by our friend of the show, Connell. And it is: do you design your games more with one shots in mind, or do you think about long-term campaigns?
Think about both. What we're trying to do is give the setting most of all, really give the atmosphere to the people, and then provoke them with that to create their own their own adventures.
Yeah.
So we, for example, for the Sword Baselands of Arak, we didn't want to include lots of tables with lots of customization of the map, which really makes it replayable. We didn't want to do that, but we wanted to make a hex map which is really specific. Like, you need to reach this specific place.
Yeah.
But while you're doing it, it will always be different. Each playthrough will be different.
Now, I'm curious. Is it fair to say that applies to other games? Like, I'm thinking about I mean, not necessarily Dump Squad because it's got a timer on it, but like the Brood Snatcher, okay? Like, that's clearly something that can be played one shot. But I mean, if someone decided they wanted to take the storyline, the mechanics, could they stretch that out into a campaign if they wanted?
Yeah, they can.
Because I was reading the description. It's like it's meant for like 1 to 2 players, but kind of like we said, their disclaimer, you can kind of add along if you want. Okay,
exactly. That's
cool.
always like sometimes from like this is also with the dice rolling game that it's not out yet. We did the same. Like, we made it's a game where you throw the dice and then something happens depending on what you if you guessed correctly what you're gonna throw. So you can say like, I'm gonna get a 3, and then if you get a 3, this will happen. But then once you've played a few games, then you get what the idea of the game is, and then anything can happen.
Take it and run with it. Yeah.
So we're aiming towards like, yes, this is how it should be played. Yeah, maybe this is like a 10-minute game, but you can stretch Dump Squad, like you can make it a big game if you want.
Just like that time when, you know, you gave up the chair and they're like, can we go more? Can we go more?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's great. I love that.
So yeah, for now, we have the Sword Baselands of Arak pre-launch page up. So
yeah, there is a link at the bottom of the screen. Click on that. That'll take you to the page. Sign up for notifications.
And then on the 23rd, it will be live. You will get notified, and then you can see more. There will be also on the 23rd, there will be a free version of the game. So is there the possibility for me to send a link so that I can show
if you want to send me a link through and I can put it on the screen.
Very secret link. Never seen.
I think you do it on the right.
Yeah, you send me a link and send me it through Instagram. I will get it on the screen for you. I'll put it in the chat here in Riverside.
The link right here. So this link has never been seen.
Oh,
this is exclusive. You heard it here first.
This is very, very exclusive.
Okay, where are you sending it?
I sent it on the Instagram, on the chat.
All right, okay, I'm on it.
And so this is actually how the page for the free version of the game will look like. This is another thing that we love doing, like really show to people that you should be able to try the game, and you should be able to see if you really like the game. And only if you really like the game, then you should purchase the complete version.
Yeah.
And only then. And another thing which we love a lot is that you're not gonna wait 1 year for this game. We're not gonna be producing it for 1 year. Like, when the campaign is over, you're gonna get it. And while the campaign is live, you can play it because you have the free version.
I was just thinking about our food conversation earlier. You know, you get to sample it for it's like the little spoons you get at ice cream. Well, I don't know if you guys do, but like the ice cream shops where if you want to sample an ice cream flavor, they just give you a little spoon of it. You're like, oh yeah, I want like a whole waffle cone of that ice cream.
Yeah, exactly, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. So the link, the purpose of this link is like they can't get the free version now. This is just this is a showcase of the site, how it will look like on itch.io. But on the 23rd, this link will not be secret anymore, and then they will be able to get it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So fancy exclusive, everybody. Check it out if you can.
Check it out. Yeah.
Oh, that looks cool. Now, who did the layout for that?
I did.
You did?
Yes.
That looks amazing. That looks really good.
Thank you.
Which
you can scroll
ironically,
it. You can scroll it.
Yep.
I just got another question, which kind of plays into this a bit. I didn't mean to lead into this, but we have another question. What part of releasing a game do you find the hardest? Is it the layout, commissioning? I can't see the other part. Oh, commissioning art, or like what is the hardest part? Because this looks like cakewalk. You made this look beautiful. Like, what's the hardest part about developing a game or releasing a game, I should say?
The marketing.
Oh,
for us, that's the hardest part for now.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like that.
Yeah, because that's something that's completely like, and we got a friend of ours working on that, Darko, and he's very good at it. So we're learning a lot from him.
That's great.
And yeah, we're hoping that things will turn around with that, because the other things for us are really easy. Like thinking about what the game will be about, the game design, the layout, all of that is a really easy peasy for us. And
it helps that you have like creative like team, you know. There's the print and play team, but there's also, you know, we were talking about that community of help, basically. Nice.
It's exactly. So yeah, the thing with TTRPGs is that you make the layout one time, really. If you're, for example, now we have the Songs and Sagas layout. We do it in the software called Figma. We made the layout, and now the layout is there. If we want to make 10 games in the Songs and Sagas, we now have the layout. And RP also had a wonderful video of how you can do that in Affinity, and Affinity as a software also is...
I love Affinity.
Yeah, it's the way it works. I also tried it.
Yeah.
It's so smooth.
Oh,
it's so nice.
Actually, talking about layout, Connell and I play on the same table. A game just released. I'm not going to say names of whatever, because I don't want it to sound like I'm slamming them, but a game released early and we were excited. We were going to try the game at our home table, realized that the character sheets were not released yet. So I hopped in Affinity, made my own version real quick, popped out those character sheets. The character sheets came out just recently, and we're looking at them, comparing them, and I was like, it's my sheet.
Yeah.
Like I almost made it exactly. And I was kind of like, man, layout seems so hard until you do it. And then it's like, oh, okay. But no, Affinity's amazing. Not that we're sponsored, cough, but you know.
No.
Yes, Affinity, if you want to sponsor us, you know, just
right.
I bought it. You know.
Yeah.
I'm a user. I'm an Affinity user.
Absolutely.
All right, I do believe that's pretty much all we've got time for, unless there's anything you want to add, Andrea.
Why are you so awesome?
Because we have awesome guests like you here. That's why.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just riding on the shoulders of giants like Atlas and yourself. Yeah, we said I just turn up and press play. I'm like a nightclub DJ.
Oh my gosh!
I just kind of go, all right, that's what that button does. I just let everybody else do the work. But yeah, you guys are doing you guys are doing phenomenal work. It is great to see what you come out with. It is great to see you guys grow, succeed, and I'm just excited to see what's next. You know, and definitely going to be keeping my eye out for print and play games.
Thank you.
Seriously, I'm going to be like, ooh.
All right, so
thank you.
Now's the time
guys.
where you can plug and you can basically tell everybody about yourself, print and play games, Galactic Omnivore, just where to find you.
Okay, I will send. There is one link to rule them all, like
yes, I love those.
Yeah, like in Lord of the Rings.
Is this your link tree that I'm about to show now?
Yes, that's the
there
link.
We go.
I had that one prepared.
Okay, then
I had that one lined up.
That's easy. So if they go here, they will find everything they need. They will find the print and play, the Kickstarter campaign first. Then they will see, they can go and check out, there's something there for Patreon that's coming also very soon. And all of the other links, like they can find us on Print and Play on Instagram, they can find us on X, they can even find us on that strange social media called Blue Sky. They can find us...
Mystery,
yeah. Then my favorite, they can find us on Threads.
Yes!
The best one.
We are Threads people.
Ever.
Yep.
They can find us there, and they can find us on Facebook. Everything is there in that one link.
Beautiful.
follow our Kickstarter campaign, click the sign up to get notified. And yeah, we'll be here. And also you can get one more place, which is rather new for me. It's TikTok. And we use TikTok to only play nice music from our most favorite games, like Elden Ring.
Okay.
And
Very cool.
and pair that with me drawing things from Sword-Based Lands of Arak. It's like
what is your TikTok?
The TikTok is also in the link.
Is it?
It's also
Let me see
print
if
and
I can
play
find it. 1
games. Let's
second.
see. Here it is.
I might be able to.
I will. It's print and play games.
Found you.
Will.
Following you right now. There we go. Boom.
There it is.
TikTok is my jam. So.
Oh yeah. The TikTok is all Atlas.
Completely new for us, but we like that we like social media where we can put like different things in different places, and TikTok really enables us to do that. Like we said, okay, we're not gonna put anything here. We're just gonna put behind the scenes of what we're doing. We're gonna put some drawing there.
Yeah,
that is a lesson I've recently learned. Because I used to do like the shorts, like there'll be a short for this video, for previous ones. I used to put them out everywhere. I used to put them out on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Threads, and I realized that spreading it too thinly was diluting the views. So I'm keeping shorts to YouTube. TikTok, I'll think of something to do with TikTok. Instagram will be pictures.
I'll help you. I'll help you with that one.
Yeah, Atlas, you are in charge of our TikTok.
Okay.
Screw it. That's a young person's game.
Oh, I'll take that. I'll take it.
Yeah, not an old person like me.
Or like me. No.
You guys aren't that old. Come on, like give yourself some credit.
I'm too old for TikTok. I will say that.
There we go. New sticker.
There we go. Yeah, that's gonna be a T-shirt.
Yeah.
You think I'm fucking joking?
No, I know you're serious.
Sounds pretty serious. Yeah.
All right, Atlas. Also, thanks to you for joining us tonight. Do you want to tell people whereabouts they can find you?
Yeah, mainly Threads. Like I said, I'm a Threads girly. If you want to interact with me, that's where I'll be. Threads, TikTok, Instagram, Atlas like the Titan, Ursa like the bear. Atlas Ursa.
Wonderful. As for me, you can find me at Natural Juan at dice.camp. On Mastodon, I'm also at natural.juan. On Threads, that's where I'm most active. But you can also find me behind our social media presence on Instagram, Blue Sky, X, but ignore that one. On the Facebook group, you can also get in touch with us at questions at toolegit2crit.uk. Also, I want to send out a huge thank you to everyone in the chat tonight who's kept us company. You know, you guys are fantastic. We could not do it without you.
Including Noah, his first debut in the chat.
Noah!
Our youngest follower.
Noah, great to have you with us.
Yeah.
Big thank you to Andrea, to Atlas.
Yes.
But most importantly of all, a huge thank you to everyone who's taken time out of the busy day just listening to us waffle on about tabletop role-playing games. Thank you very much. Good night.